Hi everyone, this is Holly from Reiki Light Blessings. I have a new message for you today. The message is faith while waiting. Waiting can be extremely difficult. Waiting can make us feel alone. Waiting can make us feel separate. Waiting can make us feel as if God isn't with us, that He doesn't hear our prayers. I want to share a couple types of waiting that I've experienced, and then I'll also share a few personal things in my life that has happened and what I did during the process of waiting. First type of waiting for me is waiting and wanting change to happen sooner rather than later. So maybe waiting for that new job, waiting for your business to expand, waiting and wanting change. The second type for me has happened a few times, and that is waiting while seeing challenges come onto my path. And these challenges I really don't want to face. That's another type of waiting that I've experienced, and that type of waiting was very fear-filled. It was a very scary time in my life. The one that I'm thinking of, there have been a couple. So I'll share, first of all, the type of waiting that has happened to me when I did not want to face those challenges. I am a person who has had dreams during my life, and a lot of times these dreams have come true. It started at a very early age. However, these dreams really picked up when I was pregnant. So 13 years ago, I lost a daughter by the name of Chloe. And it was a very devastating time in my life. I had a short waiting period. So really the loss of her was more shocking. I didn't have that waiting period as long. It was just a few days and then the loss came. During that time, I prayed. And I wrote. But my prayer was, please, God, bless me with another child. So my husband and I never prevented another child, but I didn't go and do the extra steps like in vitro or have hormone therapy to try and get pregnant. I had in my heart, God, if you're going to bless us with another child, it will happen naturally. So I prayed and I prayed. I was in the waiting period for 10 years. God did hear our prayer. He did answer our prayer. I will tell you that when I pray and whenever I'm doing healing, I say, please send this healing that is for the highest good of this person. God, answer my prayer if it's in my highest good. A lot of times we think we know what's in our highest good. We want what we want, but God answers a different way. He knows what's in our highest good and what timeline our highest good comes in. So sometimes our prayers are answered. Sometimes our prayers are answered in a different way, not the way that we would choose, but in our highest good. And sometimes our prayers are answered 10 years later. So I had a dream. I believe it was around 2007. It was a couple years after we lost Chloe. The dream was that I saw two taller shapes standing together and then a little shape, like bubble people, little shape standing in front of the two. So there were three people, two taller forms and a smaller form. I said, oh wow, it's mommy, daddy, and a child. And then the realization hit me that no, it's big brothers and a little brother or little sister. I had that dream and I told a few friends and they laughed and they said, I bet, Holly, you're gonna get pregnant when you're 40. I said, no, I want this pregnancy now. I don't want that big age gap. I don't want to wait until I'm older to have children. Everybody's timeline happens the way that they think it will, but God answers, and He places miracles and children into our lives when it's the highest good for us and them. So 10 years later, I found out that I was pregnant, and I found out I was pregnant with a girl. Elise Francis Klein has been such a blessing in our lives. I'm sorry, but I am so thankful that God did answer our prayer. Tears of joy. He brought her into our lives in just the right time. We did have a difficult phase at that time, and Ellie did bring in the joy. She was the glue. She just brought in stability. She came at the right moment in our lives. So I thank you, God, for blessing us with the miracle of Elise. So come back to the second waiting phase where I had challenges on my path and I did not want to face them. And I was filled with fear up to here. And that was during my pregnancy with Ellie. I had the most difficult pregnancy of my life. I, from day one, had problems. I had so many things come along my path. I had like 6 different diagnoses that weren't good. So I was in the waiting game. I was on bed rest for 11 weeks, and she came almost 7 weeks early, but 6 weeks early. And the beautiful miracle that she was born on her uncle's birthday. During that waiting period, I kept thinking, what if? What if I have to go through loss again? What if? What if? God, are you with me? I held on and I prayed. I want you to hold on and I want you to pray and know that God is with us in our difficult times. He is with us at all times. All times. The waiting game, the waiting process, the waiting process is our chance to mold a relationship with God. It's our chance to have a deeper level of trust. It's our chance to let go of that control. A lot of times when we're faced with fear, we try and control. So we plan and we think forward. Well, if this happens, I'll do this. And if this happens, I'll do this. And if this happens, I'll do this. And our brain takes us to places that are probably never going to be meant for us. And it just increases that worry. And that is a way for us to control our lives. So sometimes we have to just let go. We have to pray. We have to trust. The other type of waiting, when we want change now, we don't want to have to wait. Oftentimes for me, that's been moments of growth, and it has brought blessings. So more recently, I've had to wait for the copyright of my book, and it has taken 7 months. The government can be slow. So 7 months I have waited. So I've put that on hold. Well, then it gave me the chance to concentrate on my business. It gave me the chance to write the materials that I needed for teaching. It gave me the chance to grow in a new area. And now that my copyright has come in, my business had slowed some. So now I'm going to take that chance, that new opportunity with my book, and get it into print and publish it. So now I have the space while I'm waiting during my business slow period, while I'm waiting for that to grow. I can move in and create and have that new opportunity to grow my book. When you are waiting, Look to see what blessings you can find. Waiting is not fun. Waiting can be scary. But look and see the blessings that are given to you. Oftentimes, we may not see those blessings. We may not see them for 10 years. Or we may have that job come down the line 5 months later that is meant just for us. And I've had that happen several times. What if I would have taken something else that wasn't meant for me? That other job that was meant for me came in when it needed to, in God's timing. So have faith and hope. I'm going to share a poem that I wrote several years ago. It's called Finding Hope. Forgive me, I will be looking at the poem because I don't have it memorized, but I do want to read it. And I will try and share a picture of the poem as well. Finding Hope. Hope is the light that shines when darkness grows as twisting vines. When you're caught in pain that's new, faith is the rope that holds you true. Hope will always be. Seek the light that sets you free. When darkness closes in, recognize the light within. Open your heart toward positive thinking. It will ease the pain and keep you from sinking. When in despair, hope is the path to repair. When lost in a troubling thought, bring faith forward and healing will be brought. Cling to thankful light. It will brighten the darkest night. When you have a hard fall, faith will help you stand tall. Don't try to find peace in the wrong places. Channel your pain and let hope fill all spaces. So that last line, don't try and find peace in the wrong places. My meaning is alcohol, drugs, things that will numb you from facing the pain that needs to come out. So facing that fear, facing that change or challenge that you don't want. Okay? So find hope. When sickness knocks on the door, look to hope to let your spirit soar. If there is darkness, find the light. Hope will always shine bright. When painful times appear, our Creator's love is always here. Have faith in what your eyes can't see. Opening your heart to trust is key. Finding hope quiets our fear. Trusting our Creator brings peace near. So if you're waiting on a diagnosis, you're waiting during treatment, have hope and trust. You are not alone. Work on those things that help you release your fear and your pain. So like the last video, go into meditation and prayer. Exercise if that's what your body needs. Find those support groups. Connect with someone that you know will hold space for you and just hold your hand. You are not alone. You are loved. You are beautiful. So as always, be love, share love, and spread love. Bye.